Solo camping by the lake. There's going to be a campfire and relaxing camping sounds. Thank you for joining me on this one. Today I'm solo camping by the lake with a campfire and some relaxing extra upgrades. If you remember my last episode, we had an adventure where we camped by the river in a teepee during a major rainstorm. Today we're setting up camp by a tranquil lake. I've got a few upgrades. I've got a fire pit, so it's going to be amazing. How well can I set up a fire is the question, as well as some more food and eating. So you'll see it's always amazing to find these hidden gems in an urban cityscape. And I've got this lake which I see hidden away. You go down some steps, there's an overflow, it's a reservoir, a lake, and it's actually a very interesting option because you can walk along the lake shore scouting for ideal camp spots. There's lots of nature here, which is always amazing. Seeing nature, like you remember on our last episode, it was a hidden away gem. So I want to make sure when you're coming along on this journey with me, we're slowly getting better. Last time we only had the TP really and a simple chair. Today I've actually got quite a lot with me now. You can tell by walking in the amount of gear I'm carrying. I've got my TP tent in one bag, I've got my backpack, I've got another bag full of extras. So stay tuned as we go through this camping session and relax. Step into our setup. We look around, see what's here, the types of trees that are available, and looking to see nature. You'll see lots of little birds as well. I need to clue up on my birds, the type of birds that we've got. You can hear in the background. So if you're clued up on that, do let me know in the comments what type of birds are those that you can hear. A nice view through the bushes, the trees, the brambles of the lake. Lots of ancient trees here overhanging, and because the lake water levels change, there's natural beaches that form. And I feel like when you see dead trees, it just makes you feel a little bit sad sometimes, how many years trees take to grow, but then you see new trees being planted. So it's always amazing to see how nature and how we can help nature to proceed. So you'll see I've got my backpack, I've got my TP tent, and we've got nature. It's an amazing tranquil setup here, and those roots look amazing coming out of the river, the lake. And sometimes when the water is really high, this whole entire area is flooded. So always be careful when you do go camping, just to see the spot you're using. And is there a likelihood, a chance of rain overnight? Will it cause your tent to float? Will you be waking up in a puddle of water? So be mindful. I've done a little bit of research. We should be okay today. There'll be a little bit of a drizzle. And you'll see from my last episode, if you continued over, we did a little TP camping. And that was actually in a riverside where it was nearly bursting its banks. So that was very exciting. And today, this is the same tent. This is a week later. So every week I try and get out just to get into nature, check out my camping setup. I've got the same TP tent which I picked up from you would call Walmart or Asda, and it's a TP large giant tent, as well as a accompanying tent tarp which you can put towards the doorway, and that was from a Lidl Aldi. So budget gear realistically, but it's just nice to set it up in a way that allows you to relax and enjoy. So I did like the fact that the TP tent itself has an inner section and an outer section. So like today, it's not raining, so I just use the inner section which has a nice netted material. And remember last time I said I'm gonna get some more comfortable equipment? Well, I've got an inflatable mattress, and look at that supersonic speed inflating. So the plan today is going to be We're going to enjoy a nice little rest, an afternoon nap. I've got a little bit of more food with me. So if you're planning to do this, just slowly build up to it. You can do what works for you, buy what you need, and slowly improve. So keep that in mind when you're doing your setup. And if you've got no plans to do camping, don't worry. I'm here. We can go along together. Every time I do my camping session, just jump on and you can share this moment with me. It's nice to have you here. And look at that view out of the door. Those amazing roots. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings and hobbits. Actually, do hobbits ever camp? Remind me of that. I don't think I've ever caught them camping. They travel a lot, but they just sleep in the open, don't they? They don't actually have tents or interesting. And I've got a little table with me, so this is a collapsible table and it actually folds down extremely small. I brought a little towel with me just to put on top of the table so it's not as much noise when I'm using my kettle and my equipment. And for a basic setup, you use a little kettle, more than enough for 2 cups of teas, heating up water for some noodles, all the basic essentials that you would need, and those work extremely well. A simple little burner with a little gas propane canister, and this all folds down nice and small. This time I brought my stale bread with me, and I had some ideas of maybe doing a simple meal alongside the tea or hot chocolate, depending on what we have today. So what do you think? What would be a good option today? So we ended up doing a nice little tea. I got some peanut butter on these crusty baguettes, and this will give us a nice option just to have an afternoon snack. Last time, if you remember, we had a pre-prepared oatmeal bar, like an energy bar. This time we've stepped it up a little bit because we've got some utensils, we've got some peanut butter, brought a baguette along with us, and the lake actually looks really amazing. I like how it slowly slushes up towards the tree roots, and we can enjoy it. So slowly we are getting our kit up to speed. I've got a little Swiss Army knife, got a little chopping board, a little table, a chair, and this is the moment you've been waiting for. A nice serene campfire. How amazing is that going to be? I feel like it's something you can do. If I was more adventurous, I would have collected my own wood, but I wasn't sure if the wood would burn here because it can be quite wet. And I brought some kindling along with me just to be able to kick up a little fire and see how feasible this is. So the main thing with fire is keep it contained. Make sure you've got it in its own container and it's not going to spread. I like how this little fire pit has its own little tray which all the ashes will fall into, so it's not actually contacting the ground. And slowly as the fire gets going, I love how orange it is, how intense the flame gets. It gives you a nice little bit of heat, and it keeps you just, as soon as you get a fire going, that's when it just feels it changes, the atmosphere changes. Every now and again, just dropping in a few wood just to keep the fire going. And even if it's a bad raining session or a day where you're not feeling up to camping, just getting the fire out and having a little fire just brings back the core essence of humans, of how things evolve. We can easily start a fire, keep warm, keep the bugs away, create a sense of calm, crackling fires, just tranquil. And having this dry wood, it makes it a lot easier to keep the fire going, and it's just definitely something to consider. I think I can hear some rain in the distance, but I'm not sure how well it's gonna be coming and how much it's gonna cause us issues, especially with this fire setup now. So you can see as the wood burns down, this is how charcoal is kind of made. So you'll see the wood has now turned black, and if there was no air present, then that black wood would become charcoal. So if you had it in an enclosed container and put it in here and not have air going in, that would have made a lot of charcoal. So I'll put a few more blocks on there. We'll spend a few minutes here just to enjoy this fire. I've had a little nap, and it's been an interesting option today. Again, this is part of my camping relaxing episodes. I've started doing a few now where I just give you a little bit of a voiceover and explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, where I am, and the kit. I have got longer episodes where I actually just let you hear me do what I'm doing without speaking. But in this playlist, I've combined a few specific episodes for you just to give you an option of understanding how this works. So this is an inflatable mattress. Again, this can be picked up from many locations. You can pick them up online, you can pick them up at local camping shops, and I might include a couple of links in the description if you want to check it out, just to avoid all the questions, because I get a lot of questions about the gear, so it'll help you find it. But realistically, just see where you can find it. Go to a camping shop if you can, just to support the local camping shops. Where possible, we don't have to buy everything online. You can go to local shop and just let them sell you something like the good old days. Pay a little bit of money and get an item that you need. In the olden days, it was swapping chicken eggs for vegetables. So try and see if you can keep that old community spirit going. And slowly now I'm starting to pack up away, and you'll see, as quickly as I came, as quickly as I've gone. Just don't leave any trace, and take all your rubbish with you. It was a nice location here. We had a nice little session, and I'm hoping you will enjoy these updates. I want you to be along with my journey. See you on the next episode, where I'll be doing another adventure and building out my camping gear.